And welcome everyone to the January 2021 monthly vibe. I am your host, Janet. Namaste. And before we begin, I'd like to just get into our heart space for just a moment. You know, coming from a year of where 2020 was a year of really of cracking open up the shell. In the next few months of January and February, we're going to be going through what I call the gestational phase, the gestational stage. And we're really going to start cracking open. If you thought that 2020 like shook us up a little bit, what we're feeling right now is almost like the aftermath of certain aspects. And I just want to get in of like bringing in the love from the microcosm of all of us, of the truth of who we are, of the essence of our soul, which is this pure light, this pure essence of compassion, of love, of understanding, of forgiveness, of trust, and of creativity. And what we're going to be doing today is we're just going to go through this beautiful transmutation process of removing any fear aspects or um, of also any type of feeling that you would ever or somebody will ever betray you again. And I want you to get into your heart space and feel the comfort, feel the confidence within by shining your beautiful light. So without further ado, just close your eyes for a brief moment and just focus on your heart, on your beautiful beating heart. And with your eyes closed, soften that beautiful heart of yours and breathe in the beautiful energy of the beauty that you are. If you could think of the most amazing 5 top qualities about you: your beauty, your wisdom, your compassion, your kindness, your empathy, your forgiveness, your caring. Just think of the 5 qualities, the 5 values within. And you can bring a beautiful, beautiful color to the top 2. So if it's wisdom, wisdom could be the color blue. If it's strength, it could be the color purple, whatever color you'd like it to be. Just assign it a color, and that first feeling that you have, just go with it. And now with those colors, the 2 colors, allow it to go together like this beautiful cyclical wave where they're intertwining, coming from your heart space in this beautiful infinity sign, going around and around your body in this beautiful, beautiful, like it looks like a bunch of number 8s all around you of those 2 colors. And I want you now to bring that awareness, once you fill up your entire being with this light, connect to your intention for tonight's transmission and connect to your intention of what it is that you would like January 2021 to bring to you and to bring to the world. And now allow that beautiful energy again, bring it in front of your heart space as you breathe it in, grounding your entire body and being in this beautiful light, immersing in it. And then open up your eyes whenever you're ready. Amazing. So welcome. You know, we all have a tendency to put our self qualities, these values aside, and we forget the essence of who we are, especially when the environment and our external world at times seems that it isn't so stable. And truly, the only thing that is consistent on this planet Earth is the energy of change and of growth. And this is what the energy of 2021 is going to be bringing us. It's going to be bringing us this creative energy of growth and evolution. We are the gatekeepers, right? And what are the gatekeepers? We are entering this amazing, beautiful Renaissance period, the Renaissance of the Aquarian age. And this is, I've been speaking about this for quite some time, for the past 6 months, really immersing in it. So you're going to hear different aspects of the way that we're describing it, but each time we describe this specific period, whether it be energetically, when we speak about the planets aligning on the 21st of December with Jupiter and Saturn aligning in Aquarius, what does this actually mean? I mean, we can speak about that aspect of the energy of the planet Jupiter, which is the largest planet here in our galaxy, in our solar system. And Jupiter represents lucky blessings. And what Saturn represents, it is the planet where it's about seriousness. It's a planet which is all based upon, it's earth-based. So there's a density that's associated with it. And if you know, according to Western astrologers, you know, if you know any Capricorns, which that's what I am, I was born on the 31st of December. Cappies are based, like, you know, their Western astrology, they are influenced by the energy of Saturn. And Saturn is something that kind of teaches us the hard way. It's like the strict parent, and Jupiter is like the fun, the loving, like, let's expand, let's take our greatest gifts and let's multiply and diversify our blessings. And when these two planets align, they align actually every 20 years. But the miraculous thing that happened on the 21st of December was that it was on solstice, and it was in exactly 0 degree. And 0 degree is the everything encompassing. It's all and everything. So when we enter like this energy of Aquarius, like when these two planets align, Aquarius is this, it's this energy of, it's this beautiful energetic vibration of air and vata. And it's one of where it's a lot of psychic energy, where our thoughts can become, when we put action to it and the right intention, it'll manifest very quickly, because we went from a very earthly time period for, past, God knows, like maybe over 100 years. It was like the energy of earth. Now we're entering into the energy of air. And when it's air, things happen much quicker. So we have to be very cognizant of our thoughts, for our thoughts they can manifest very quickly. So tonight's transmission and tonight's channeling, when I'm going to go into the meditation, we're going to transmute of any of the density that may have been caught up in our DNA, in our cellular system, whether it's from antiquated programs from our ancestors, or whether it's things that maybe we covertly or overtly or subconsciously observed and absorbed from others, So it's working with these aspects of fear, because we are in the middle of a transitional stage at this moment. And this is a very, January is an initiation month. We get to press reset, we get to press reboot. But I have something, it's not a surprise, but we can do this in February, March, or April, anytime we want, where we don't have to wait 360 something days in order to press reset or reboot. However, in January, we are being supported by the universe to help guide us, because we are energetic beings. We connect to the blueprint of months, of the star system, of the galaxies. We are influenced by the way planetary alignments are. When we are born, we choose our parents. We choose exactly the moment that we're born, the time that we're born, the place where we're born, and the place is the latitude and the longitude. And there is this long GPS number, right? Like, and these decimal points that go around it. All of these things combined, the time combined, is the essence of who you are, and all of your past lives as well. So, as for some of you that don't know, I have been doing regression work for quite some time, for almost 2 decades actually. But and this kind of regression work, when we go back into time, There are certain aspects that we don't even realize. I must have regressed thousands and thousands of clients in the past like 20 years. And people don't realize that sometimes we hit these obstacles in our present life for certain shadow aspects that may have happened in the past life. And we repeat these cycles, this holographic things where, like, here I go again. And it lives inside ourselves, especially if we are all empaths. And if you're on this call, and if you're watching the recording, and if you are listening at this moment, there is no such thing as coincidence. If you're on here and you're listening, we are on this, it's like the same energetic plane. Your heart is open to receive this message. You are an empath. You feel, you sense energy. And this is what is happening in the month of January. The world is going through a great awakening. And for those that have been awake, and it's not like the ones that are awake, the ones that are sleeping, it is completely free will. We have on this planet Earth, you know, Earth is a dense planet, right? It's a planet of duality. In order for us to learn in human form, you know, in human form, we're spiritual beings. We forget at times. We think that we are, you know, these you know, just these bodies, and we get caught up sometimes in the emotional aspects of things. So what happens is that at times, that when we forget, we can become reactive. And the ones that are next to us, the clusters of family members and loved ones and friends and best friends and ex-best friends and ex-boyfriends and ex-girlfriends and so on and so forth, ex-bosses, whatever it may be, we all have a karmic disposition. We learn through relationships on this planet, through love. We forget at times because there's this band of forgetfulness. When we're born, we come in with the purity of just pure unconditional love. And then this band of forgetfulness, it's like comes over. And what happens is that we forget our, and so we learn our true destiny, and we learn the virtues and the specific lesson that we came here. For those of you that have done my Destiny Blueprint program, you know what I'm speaking about. You know, each specific person has a certain lesson and a certain gift that we came here to share. We are part of the humans, right? These spiritual beings in human form that came here to basically be the channelers, the connectors, you know, of this, you know, this bridge of the ray of light from the old, and I don't want to say the old world, but it's almost like this renaissance into not the futuristic world, but for the here and now of pure, we're going into like the pure love. And before, things were very rigid, right? In the past, things were rigid. And going back to the time when Jupiter and Saturn were conjunct at the same time, it's every 20 years. So think about this. These are huge technological awakenings and these huge like times in history. So let's go back now, you know, so now we're in 2020, right? And well, no, we're not in 2020. 2020 was when the conjunction happened. We're in 2021 already. So 2020, what has happened? It was, I mean, so many things, but COVID, right? That was a huge thing, which affected the lungs, which affected the heart space. And then 20 years prior to that, the year of 2000, right? It was Y2K energy of thinking that, oh my God. And I remember I was working in the .com industry during that period of time. Doing like programming. And I remember like we had to back up the computers. We had to make sure our databases were backed up because they thought that all the computers on this planet Earth was going to crash on January 1st, 2000, right? And when we went from 1999 to 2000, like it was this Y2K thing that we had to prepare the entire year. And then 20 years prior to that was 1980s, right? Where it was about Atari and ColecoVision and all that stuff. And I grew up in the 80s, you know, where it was like fluorescent was really hot, you know, and wearing those like MC Hammer pants. That was, I think, in the, yeah, that was in the 80s. The Z Cavaricis. So, and then 20 years prior to that, it was what? The 1960s, the hippies. So this is the Great Awakening. We could go further back, the 40s, the 20s, this is all. So as you can see, like the next time when our world is going to have this quite awakening, we're going to be well prepared for it. This is going to be in 2040, right? In 2040, when the same conjunction is going to happen. And right now, for the next 20 years, we're going through this migration process. But January specifically allows us to really reconnect to being the initiator of the truth that we are. And what is the truth that we are? We each have a unique gift. Stop comparing yourself to others. This is a big thing. The word on the street is creation. Okay? And how we're going to create? By community. That's another C word. Cultivating community. We are getting back to the, just like the me, where we're trying like by ourselves, like we were isolated this entire year, because of health purposes and because of, fear. It's COVID actually isn't the greatest disease. It's fear that is the greatest disease. Whenever these things happen in the universe, it's here to wake us up that we must search deeper inside of us for solutions. There are no such things as problems, right? They're only solutions. And as January, throughout this like entire journey in January, we're going to be, it's going to be a whirlwind. There's so many like things that are happening, but yet at the end of like the second half, which I'm going to speak about in a moment, the second half of January will be a time in which we get to like really reset, because there will be new planets that are going to be in retrograde for about 16 days, like 15 or 16 days, something like that. So the beginning of January, now today is January 7th. This is when we're doing the transmission. And I wrote it down, like I did the numerology on it. So January 7th, 2021, it equals the energy of number 5. Okay. And in my vision quest that I'm going to do, it's the private event on Sunday that you probably all got the invite for. I'm going to be speaking about how your blueprint, your original blueprint, and how you can connect to the energies of the month throughout the year of your personal year using numerology and utilizing meditations and a 5D mantra, because we are entering the 5th dimension. The 3rd dimension was in the 1980s, where it was thoughts, and then it took some time for the action and the brew and the right ingredients to happen. And maybe you saw the results in like a couple of years. Time went by a little bit slower than it is going on right now. Even the way I'm speaking, like maybe it's my New York thing. I speak very fast. Our thoughts are going by so quickly in our minds. Even when I'm transmitting this, there's like, it's coming to me in all, I'm translating it into like, it's like almost a cluster of angels together, not one. It's a cluster of angels together that are basically, I'm translating into this one message. So it's coming in very quickly. So now, while 3D, which is in the 1980s, things were going, it was slow moving, and then we went into 4D, which is the bridge. This is the bridge. It's like the transport device. It's the caboose. And now 5D is 5 is the energy of change. It's the energy of transmutation. It's the energy of wind. It's the energy of fun also, but it's also it's the energy of the law of impermanence. Nothing on this planet Earth is permanent. No matter how much we want to hold on to it or anything, it's sooner or later it's going to be time where it's going to go away, or it's going to mature, or it's going to evolve, or time, even with people, unfortunately, I know many people that have passed on, that have suffered this year, and this is a time where it's going from the 4 year of 2020 of heart base into lots of changes. So we're still grieving. Our hearts are still grieving of what had happened. So the next 2 months of January and February is going to be that, like I mentioned before, the gestational period where we must heal certain of the pain that it's basically like PTSD for those of you that are therapists. Like, this is what the whole world has gone through. And I really feel that the children, especially middle school up to high schoolers, are really affected by it most. My sister is a pediatrician, and she was telling me that, obviously there's HIPAA, but of the clusters of children that are really suffering are their middle schoolers and the high schoolers. So if you are a parent, and I have, I'm a parent of an 8th grader and an 11th grader, it's important to communicate, because they're harboring a lot of fear inside of them as well. They're grieving as well. When you're a child, you just want to be out there. You want to be out in nature. You want to have fun. It's about freedom. And all of a sudden we're here isolated, and you have to put the mask on. Believe it or not, the younger children are more adaptable. Like the ones that are in elementary and younger, they're more adaptable at this time. There's more malleability. Once like puberty hits, and the hormones start going and everything like that, this fear starts going in. It's this transitional period, where you go through the energy of Mercury of thinking, to the period of like hearts. Venus rules around the time of from age 13 to 26. This is like all about love. And when you feel that your love is being like taken away, which is, you feel abandoned. And this is what these children are going through. And we as parents, not only if you're not a parent to like children at that age, you have to become a great parent to yourself. So this is the time when we have to cultivate incredible, loving, the most beautiful, self-loving relationship to ourselves. It starts now, because we came here to serve others with our gifts and our talents to help transmute and heal of what has transpired. I didn't even know what happened with Capitol Hill last night, by the way. My son told me at 10 o'clock, I do not watch the news. I don't watch the news. The world has gone mad, the macrocosm. I mean, what is going to heal all this? I know I sound like very 1960s, but truly, love is going to heal everything. Forgiveness. And the end all of that, that we are separate. Community is going to heal all this. We are all we're all the we. We're going from a me of an egotistical type, like survival, to cultivating self-love, filling our vessels so we can better serve others, to the we. We are much better together of supporting one another, sharing our resources, being a dream weaver. Hey, this one helped me. I'm going to pass it forward. Every single healer, every single teacher that I've ever worked with, I paid it forward. I share all those resources. There's no competition when it comes down. We're in this world together. We need to be respectful to the real estate that we're on, which is Gaia. We're polluting the air. We're polluting our water. I mean, it's time to really be mindful of those things. So when people are like, oh, this is happening outside of me. No, it happens in our home. My house, because I guess they're doing construction on my hill, I had like brown water in my, like, I had to do laundry a billion times from Christmas, like the 24th to like now. And it's like, we don't realize how lucky we are, for those of you that live in countries that you have clean water. Okay. So it's important that that we really tune into the energy of gratitude, and then pay forward to other people, other countries, other communities that have lack. Okay. And because all of us have that within us in terms of the giving and the serving, it is of utmost importance. That's why we came here on this planet Earth. So let's get on to January, shall we? I don't even know the time. Whew, we got to get on with it. Okay, so what do we see? I have some notes here. In the beginning of January, now it's January 7th, so this is the energy of a number 5. And 5 is all about transition, like I mentioned to you before. It's transition from, like, it's the last of the single digit before we jump onto the other hand, okay? So the 5 is all about change. So January 7th, what is happening right now is that it's telling you step into like what it is that you, a world service, humanitarian. There's this Neptunian energy that is around us that is very dreamy, that's very dreamy. Is it an illusion, or is it a dream come true, or is it a nightmare? So this is like, of where is my reality? And then what we're going to be going into is like around January 13th, that's going to be the new moon that's going to be coming in. And this is a process of a true rebirth. The number 13 is actually, it's one of my favorite numbers. My wedding anniversary is on the 13th, dyslexic version, backwards, or the Hebrew version. I was born on the 31st. I love the number 13. I'm like lucky 13. So on the 13th, it's going to be the new moon. So it allows you to kind of like have this rebirth period, like really a rebirth. You can have a ceremony, however you choose. You can write things that you want to let go of, but most importantly, what it is that you want to initiate as well. So another thing is that, so this new moon, there's also these four planetary bodies that are going into, like, it's the new moon of Capricorn, right? This is heavy. I'm a Cappy, and like there's this, it's, even though that I channel in, that's because I have a lot of like Pisces and Aquarius and Sag energy that is within me. So it's, I could transmute very quickly, and I know how to translate everything. So the moon, the sun, Pluto, and Venus is going to be during this period of time where we're really going to go through a process during the new moon, like around this period in mid-month, of really releasing. So like now it's like the grieving process. It's like and it's okay to cry. I'm not talking about going into victim pity party or anything like that. It's okay to cry. We need to release the emotions that are within us. If we're, I was about to F-bomb. I will not F-bomb because this is, I'm not going to do that. If we're scared, then scream. If we're fearful, if we're freaking mad, be angry. It's important to be authentic. Hello, 2021 is about authenticity. The veil is going to drop. In my vision quest, we go month by month, and we speak about when that veil is really dropping, and how you can actually, it's like the GPS of your soul throughout, which is amazing. But now we get a little pre-sequel to it, and January, like around the time of January 14th, 15th, what is going to happen is Uranus is going to move direct. What is the planet Uranus? Uranus is planet of unpredictability. Whenever Uranus is around, or whatever it is, it was in retrograde for quite some time. There's definitely like, there could be, volcanoes erupting. There could be like, and what was erupting was really our hearts. It was really like emotions were erupting. There's karmic force on this planet Earth. It holds all of our thoughts. Think of every single one of our thoughts in a little, let's say in a jar or in a Tibetan bowl, in a huge Tibetan bowl, and imagine all of our fears in one big Tibetan bowl, ba-boom, it's going to sooner or later crack. And that's what happened in 2020, where it's this energy. And that is like for the past, like, I think it was, Uranus was, I don't know, retrograde, I know, for definitely at least 4 months, but now that it's going to go direct, we're going to feel a sense of relief, where we're going to be able to cultivate our self-worth and not fearing that all of a sudden the rug is going to be pulled underneath us, per se, and know that by the time mid-month, we're going to go what we call the pre-shadow phase of Mercury retrograde. For those of you that, that's like the popular one, it's the in Mercury retrograde one. Nobody really knows what happens when other planets go in retrograde, but I speak about that in my monthly transmissions as well. Mercury retrograde, Mercury rules the planet of, it's a planet of communication, of technology, and of thought process. Geminis are ruled by Mercury as well. And what it is that it's when the pre-shadow phase will allow us to kind of like, it's like start becoming really responsible of what we say and how we say it. And whatever contracts or whatever things that you sign during this time, yeah, you may have to go back and reword it, or it may, whatever you're signing may not be set in stone. But this is a number 5 year, guys. And today is a number 5 day numerologically. So there's no coincidence that I do this on the first Thursday of every single month. It kind of fell like this way. it's all, everything is in alignment, everything is in synchronicity, and when we're awake we really see clearly and we really appreciate. But when we are like rigid, and that like rigidness was that 2020, which was, we were supposed to go within and love ourselves more, but we locked ourselves in a box in our fear and stubbornness, you know. And number 4 energy, 2020, is actually ruled by Uranus, and it was unpredictable, truly. But the left doors, like it's the shadow aspects of a number in a year of 2020, was of stubbornness, of fear, of being isolated, and not wanting to share our truth. 2021 is stepping out of the comfort zone into number 5. And what will happen mid-month, whoever we're communicating with, whomever we're communicating with, you're going to be able to reset with others as well, even friends that come out of the woodworks, or whatever it is. It's like you get to choose of what kind of relationship you want with yourself and who you allow in. And I don't mean of like, you know, isolating others by all means. But if someone is too heavy or whatever it is, you can teach by example. And that's the number 5 energy as well. Because around and no, from the 15th all the way up to like the 30th or whatever it may be, that's when Mercury actually goes into retrograde, which is about January. I always forget that January has 31 days. So around the time of January 30, 31, that's depending on where you live, Mercury will go into retrograde. But from the 14th to 15th to up to the 30th, the 31st, there are no planets that are in retrograde, which means that there is this like, and I don't want to call it like the quiet before the storm. No, no, absolutely not. It allows us, like, you know, to kind of clear up and go through our process in the manner that we need to. But know that around between the 20th and the 31st, there are 4 planetary beings or bodies, or, you know, planets that go into Aquarius. And that is Mercury, which is communication, Saturn, which is about, it's the teacher, it's the teacher, but it's the strict teacher, you know, about structure and routine. It's important if we're cultivating love this year, like real true, like passionate love, and compassionate love, and serving love, and receiving as well. It's very important for there to be a reciprocity so we can elevate together. Then we must tap in of routine, and that's what Saturn is going to bring us. And then Jupiter will allow us, our heart, to expand and open up. And then there's also this energy of the sun that's there, which we know the sun is the star, and the sun was closest to us around January 2nd. So we probably felt like a lot of you know, it's this feeling of being uncomfortable. I mean, think about when you're on the stage. For those of you, I don't care being on the stage with, if when the spotlight is on you, we become sometimes insecure of what we're going to say or how we're going to say it or whatever it may be, right? So this is extremely important during this period. Just like the spotlight's going to be on during this time. Mercury is about our mindset, so everything is going now into Aquarius, so you will feel lighter, but it sets the whole vibration, this beautiful like octave of how we're going to be going in the next like 100 to 200 years, the Aquarian era. You know, a friend of mine, I spoke to her a couple of weeks ago, and she was like, I thought we were already in the Aquarian age. Yeah, we were kind of, sort of, but it's like we are now, what we are, the Renaissance people. We are the pioneers, guys. And it starts with us, because we are actually building, believe it or not, the world as we know it for our future self when we reincarnate back into this planet. So whatever karma or beef you have with whomever, whatever government, whatever opinion, whatever it is, neutralize it now. Neutralize it now, because finish what you started. Otherwise, you're going to come back. You're going to have to neutralize it again. This is the law of karma. It's of cause and effect. So the most important thing is to tap into the forgiveness. So without further ado, let's go into our meditation. Okay. So just make sure that obviously you are on mute, that you're going to be in an undisturbed area for about 15 minutes or so, or maybe even less than that. And then after our meditation, we'll have our Q&A, and then whoever won the reading will have a reading with that. But that will not be recorded on YouTube, just FYI. That will be completely 100% private. So just close your eyes. We're going to just get settled in and take a deep breath in. We're just going to go into a beautiful state of peace and relaxation. I'm actually going to set the tone here too, where we're going to go back in time. Close your eyes, sink into your heart space, and focus now on the energy of the two colors. When we first attuned, the beautiful essence of the qualities that you are, allow that beautiful color, those two beautiful colors, to come together, mix in as if you're mixing paint, and visualize this beautiful energy going through the top of your head into your seventh chakra, which is your skull, your head, the top of your head, in both of your left and your right hemisphere, filling your entire head with this beautiful energy of peace and the essence of who you are, connecting also to the cosmos, connecting to the energy of January 2021, the initiation, the month of lessons of being the initiator, the leader, and the lessons, the mission on this planet Earth to bring creativity onto this planet. And it begins with today. And allow this beautiful light to relax you as it flows down your jaw, down your neck area, your throat, your thyroid, the voice of your truth. And this is what we're activating this year, is living and abiding by the truth, walking your truth, speaking your truth, accepting your truth, and not allowing any non-negotiables to ever be negotiable ever again. Allow this beautiful energy to flow down your spine, relaxing every vertebrae, going down in your middle of the back and down to your lower back. And this beautiful energy of the soul essence of who you are, connecting also to the cosmos, to the initiation of January. Allow this beautiful light now to go down your heart center into your fourth chakra, filling up also your lungs with beautiful oxygen, 100%. Breathing in, filling up your lungs with great health today, tomorrow, always, activating the healthy DNA cells within you. And your beautiful heart pumps this energy now of this golden healing light that is activated from the Creator above you and around you and within you. And it's activated in your heart, neutralizing, transmuting any fears within you as it goes through every cell of your body, every thought that you've ever thought since the moment of birth that wasn't your truth. Anything that you may have absorbed from your teachers, your parents, the preachers, your friends, that isn't yours. And then allow this beautiful energy now to flow everywhere, filling you up, relaxing you, going into your abdomen, into your second chakra, going all the way down to the bottom of your feet. Now visualize your feet lighting up in golden light. And with your left foot forward, visualize yourself walking into the most beautiful path. Visualize this amazing place in nature, this golden path, this golden brick path. You're going with your left foot forward, walking, and right before you, visualize or picture, imagine an amazing fortress or a castle or a temple. And this temple is made up of a stone that Mother Earth has given us. It's called cellulite. Cellulite is a white, milky kind of stone that is given from Gaia, from our Creator, and it neutralizes energy. It clears and transmutes. And this beautiful, beautiful temple is made out of cellulite. And you walk into this beautiful temple and just take in all the sights. Take in all the sights that is there. And right before you is a guide or a previous ancestor that you may have known, that may be a guide now. And it meets you, he or she meets you. And they ask you now for you to tell them your truth of all your fears that you may have felt, any negative thoughts, any feelings of resentment or betrayals that you may have experienced. So just tell them, take a moment and tell them everything that you may have feared. Allow your mind, because we're in the 5D reality, you could telepathically let them know of what it is that you fear. Maybe you fear ever getting sick with COVID or not surviving. Maybe you fear losing a loved one. Maybe you fear not allowing your light to shine. Maybe you fear that you can't forgive yourself for something. Maybe you fear that you won't be able to speak the truth to people that really mean a lot to you. Whatever it is, there's no great or greater or small fear. It is all within you. It's your truth. But this is a place where you can neutralize it. And take a few moments. Go through the lineage. Go through whatever age you are. Go back 20 years and another 20 years. We're going through the age of when Jupiter and Saturn were conjunct. The 20s, 2020, 2000, 1980, 1960, 1940, and perhaps 1920. And your guide looks at you and tells you, you are loved. Remember that you are loved. And also whispers in your ear a mantra to remind you that your heart is pure and you resonate with love. And you bow down to one another in reverence. And you walk out of the cellulite temple. And right to the left of you, as you walk out, feeling refreshed, feeling lighter, allowing your heart to feel full, you see this amazing, amazing, beautiful temple made up of sodalite. And sodalite is a blue stone. It's a beautiful blue stone, like a cobalt type of blue. And you now walk down this beautiful golden path into the cobalt blue sodalite temple. And you walk in, and right before you, you see an ascended master. And this is a person, a guide, a master before you that has fifth, sixth density energy of pure love. And this is a place where you can tell and ask for advice and ask what your higher self and what your ascended master is there to support you and love you, and how you can do what you came here to do on this planet Earth. Ask now the ascended master what it is that your soul is yearning to do and to know from this moment on, in this month of January, how you can be a better version of yourself, filled with love, compassion, trust, forgiveness, understanding. Take in all the information that is being transmitted to you now. Take in all the information. What advice is your ascended master telling you? Feel how it feels in your body. Allow it to fill you up. For sodalite is the stone that represents the number 5 energy, that represents the energy of truth. Allow yourself to be immersed with the strength, the fortitude, the creativity as the initiator of change and of great love. Hear the messages, fill it up, allow it to create even more expansion for your evolution on this planet. And take a deep, deep breath in and bow down now to your ascended master with gratitude. As you walk out now, the beautiful sodalite temple, going up the path of the golden brick path into the here and now. And as I count from 1 to 3, you'll just come back to the here and now, filled up with this beautiful energy of love, of being an initiator, of being a leader of truth, and abiding by the voice of your soul and your ascended masters and support system always. 1, becoming awake and alert. 2, open up your eyes. And 3, thank you, everyone. May you be blessed today and always. Have an amazing January, and I hope to see you at my Vision Quest this Sunday, January 10th at 1 p.m. Eastern. And if you can't make it live, the link will be there, and you can always join in and you'll have lifetime access. Be blessed. Be safe. Namaste.